Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You know how we do it.
Yeah, breaking it down.
All right, so this time we're going to be looking at the song All Gas by
Right.
PLEX.
Yeah.
And we're using his official music video on YouTube as the source.
Nice.
So we have the transcript of the lyrics.
Oh.
And we are going to be unpacking, all the metaphors and the different themes that are in there.
I'm excited.
Yeah, should be interesting. So PLEX, right off the bat, repeats this phrase, all gas, no brakes,
Yeah.
over and over again.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like that's not just a catchy hook. It kind of speaks to a larger theme that we see out there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like this whole hustle culture grind, never stop.
Definitely. I mean, just that imagery, you can almost hear like an engine revving,
Yeah, like that constant motion.
Just going and going.
Yeah, so Plex right away embodies this in the first lines. He's like, I've been on my grind for a little minute for the stacks.
Yeah.
I ain't hesitant, never been. I'm going to get it in.
Yeah, he's not messing around.
No, he's not. And it's interesting, too, how he kind of ties in this idea of where he's from. Like, later on, he says, the bully of the box state, and that's Connecticut.
Yeah. Yeah, a little shout out to where he's from.
But it also sounds, kind of aggressive a little bit.
There's definitely an edge to it.
Yeah, like he's staking his claim a little bit.
Yeah, claiming his territory.
So he's not just ambitious, but he's also, warning people, I'm here.
Exactly.
And that kind of leads into how he addresses his haters in the song.
Oh, yeah, he goes right at him.
He does not hold back, in your face kind of stuff. Like he says, ask my haters how they doing. You see him, Dave, is they not great.
Yeah, he seems to be almost enjoying their discomfort a little bit.
Yeah, reveling in it a little bit. Do you think he maybe goes a little too far when he says this next line?
Which one?
Y'all should be happy forgetting to mention you ungrateful pieces of shit.
Ooh.
Is that just part of, the whole hip-hop game? Is that...
It's definitely common to see these kinds of, beefs and call-outs in hip-hop. It's almost like a form of competition.
Right, yeah.
But I do think Plex might be taking it a step further. When he starts talking about certain promoters in Denver, it feels like there's some real-life tension there.
Oh, interesting.
It's not just lyrical sparring,
So it's like he's calling them out directly.
Yeah, almost like he's got a score to settle.
So it's like this all-gas persona that he's presenting to the world maybe has, some real-world fuel behind it.
Yeah, there's definitely a fire there.
Yeah. And that makes me think about, the darker side of this whole mentality, because he doesn't just talk about hustle. He also uses some pretty intense imagery in his lyrics.
Right, it can get pretty dark.
Yeah, when he says twisted, looks on the head, up to my shoulders above you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, head, go cope with your meds.
Whoa.
That's a pretty strong image.
Yeah, very vivid and intense.
It makes you wonder, is he glorifying violence here, or is he just trying to expose, a harsh reality that's out there?
It's a tough question to answer. I think it could be interpreted in different ways.
Yeah, and he does seem to be drawing on his own personal experience, because later on, he says 5 years, 10 to down. So it sounds like he's referencing some time that he spent,
Wow. So it's not just talk. He's actually lived through some tough stuff.
Yeah, this isn't just some persona. It's, rooted in his reality.
And that adds a whole other layer to his words.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've got this ambition, we've got this aggression, and then we've got this darker undercurrent that runs through his lyrics.
It's a complex mix.
But Plex is also really known for his wordplay, right?
Yeah.
How does that fit into all of that?
Oh, yeah. His lyrical style is definitely unique. He's got a way of blending street imagery with pop culture references. It's really fresh and unexpected.
Yeah, and he can get really creative with his metaphors, when he says, I'm holding them DS like rims, just like kids. That's sick. I'm throwing it up.
That's a great example.
He's taking something ordinary, like a Nintendo DS, and turning it into this, bold visual.
Right, and it's not just the imagery he's playing with rhythm and rhyme, too. Check out this line. My shoulders on shrug. I'm showing them up, they be me, I soak them in blood.
Wow, yeah, there's a real flow to that.
Yeah, he's got a distinctive style, the way he puts words together.
So it's like he's creating this world with his words and inviting you to step into it, but it's not always a comfortable world.
Definitely not for the faint of heart.
No, but it's definitely captivating.
Absolutely, he's a master at drawing you in.
Yeah, and that's what makes Plex so interesting, right?
Yeah.
He's not afraid to show us both the light and the darkness.
Exactly, he embraces the complexities of his experience, and that's what makes him so compelling as an artist.
So it seems like Plex is creating this whole persona, or this all-gas character.
Yeah, he's definitely crafting an image.
That's aspirational in a way, but also kind of dangerous.
It's a tricky line to walk.
And when you look at his lyrics about success, you can see how he's aware of like how competitive the music industry is.
Oh, yeah, he's not just trying to make music. He wants to
Yeah.
dominate.
Yeah, like he says, I put in too much work to not be acknowledged. You motherfuckers done started, and now you whore up a hell. There's bars in this verse alone that you ain't even catch.
Like, calling out the competition.
Yeah, daring them to keep up. And he even says, like, I was convincing twin sisters to bone me my homie.
Whoa. Okay. Pushing the boundaries a little there.
Do you think that's part of his strategy to be controversial and get people talking?
It could be. He's definitely not afraid to provoke a reaction, but I also think there's a vulnerability there too. Like when he says, I'm waiting on the day I meet my match. When I do, I promise I'm a beat they ass.
Interesting.
Like he's confident, but he also wants to be challenged.
He wants to prove himself.
Yeah, exactly. But then he goes right back to that darker side,
Yeah.
saying, motherfuckers think it's graw because I'm on probation. Like I won't get crazy and bang them and take them on the how ride.
So he's reminding everyone that he's not just talking tough.
Right. There are real consequences to messing with him.
It's that tension again between his ambition and this potential for danger.
Like how far is too far?
It's a question a lot of artists have to face.
Definitely pushing boundaries, staying true to yourself, but also navigating the realities of the music business.
And Plex's music really reflects that struggle.
He's not giving us any easy answers. He's just putting it all out there, the drive, the darkness, the ambition.
And letting us figure it out for ourselves.
Exactly.
So where does all of this leave Plex in the larger hip-hop world? Like, how does his approach compare to other artists out there?
Well, hip-hop is so diverse and always changing.
It's a really big landscape.
But I think what Plex brings is a real raw honesty that's really captivating.
He's not afraid to be controversial, to challenge the norms, and to push those lyrical boundaries.
And that all gas, no brakes attitude seems to connect with a lot of listeners.
Yeah, it speaks to that desire for success, overcoming challenges.
But it also makes you think about the potential cost of that kind of relentless pursuit.
Right, like what are you willing to sacrifice?
Plex's music doesn't shy away from those questions.
It makes you confront the complexities of ambition, those blurred lines between art and real life.
It's thought-provoking stuff.
He's not just entertaining us, he's making us think critically about the messages in his music.
And how they connect to our own lives and the world around us.
Yeah, it's interesting how that whole all gas, no brakes idea keeps coming back in the song.
Right.
It's like he's using it to motivate himself, but also to kind of warn people. Like, don't get in my way.
Exactly.
It creates this feeling of like unstoppable momentum, like he's not slowing down for anything.
He's committed.
But it also makes you wonder like how much pressure comes with that,
Right. Is that sustainable long-term?
Yeah. Can you really live your life at 100 all the time? Or does it eventually lead to burnout?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it goes back to something we talked about earlier, like the potential consequences
Yeah.
of that drive.
Like, what is he sacrificing?
Exactly, and Plex doesn't shy away from showing that darker side.
Right. It's almost like he's saying, yeah, I'm going to reach my goals no matter what. But it's not always going to be pretty.
And that complexity is what makes his music so interesting.
Yeah.
He's not trying to make it seem easy or glorify the struggle.
He's just keeping it real.
Right. Just laying it all out there and letting us deal with it.
So, after going through all these lyrics, what do you think is the main takeaway from this song? Like, what's Plex trying to tell us?
Well, I think there are a few things going on.
Okay.
On one hand, it's definitely about ambition and hard work.
Yeah.
Like believing in yourself and overcoming obstacles.
That hustle mentality.
Exactly. But he's also showing us the other side of that.
The downsides.
Yeah, the grit and the grind and the potential risks of always pushing so hard.
Yeah, he's not sugarcoating anything.
It's a really powerful message.
It definitely leaves you with a lot to think about.
I think so. Does Plex's all gas attitude inspire you, or does it make you a little uneasy?
Yeah.
And how does this song reflect what we see in hip-hop and in society today?
That's something for everyone to think about on their own.
As you listen to more of his music.
Well said. So, All Gas. It's more than just a song.
Definitely.
It's a look inside the mind of an artist who's striving for success and dealing with his own struggles.
And leaving his mark on the world.
One rhyme at a time.
It's a reminder that music can be so powerful.
Yeah, for expressing yourself, reflecting on your life, and making statements about society.
And Plex's music definitely does all of that.
Lots to think about for sure. So thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
And until next time, keep those minds curious.